the times of the Beit HaMikdash, males 13 and over were obligated to give a silver half shekel annually to the Beit HaMikdash. A half a shekel is the equivalent of 9 grams of silver. The money paid for the public sacrifices and offerings that were made throughout the year. Since that time, a custom developed to give money to charity every year in memory of the half shekel that was obligatory during the times of the Beit HaMikdash. This custom goes back to at least the 8th century, as we find a reference to it in Masechet Sofrim, which was composed around the 8th century. It is also referred to in a responsa from the Geonim from the same time period. Interestingly, there is no reference to this custom by Harambam or even by Maran in Shulchan Aruch. But still in all, it was customary to give money in memory of the half shekel in Halab. Towards the end of the 18th century, the chief rabbi of Halab at that time, Rabbi Rafael Shlomo Lanyado, wrote in his book Betino Shel Shlomo that in his opinion, one should not use money set aside for Maaser to fulfill the custom of giving money for the half shekel. And his son, Hakam Ephraim Lanyado, who succeeded his father as the chief rabbi of Halab, wrote in his book, Degel Mahane Ephraim, that his father sent a shamosh to collect the half shekel from everyone, men, women, and for children of all ages, so that the charity donated would be an atonement for the entire community. Hakam Abraham Antebi, who was the chief rabbi of Halab in the beginning of the 19th century, wrote in his book Ohel Yesharim that one is obligated to give money for the half shekel, and that the custom is like any other requirement. Based on the writing of Muram, an Ashkenazic authority from the 16th century, he said that they should really give more than was customary in order to fulfill the custom properly. Other Aleppian rabbis that refer to the giving of money for the half shekel include Hakam Mordecai Abadi in his book Ma'ayan Ganim, Hakam Abraham Hamwi in his book He'ach Nafshenu, and Hakam Yitzhak Alfiyeh in his book Kuntiras HaYahiyeli. In Halab, the money collected for the half shekel was used to buy matzot for the rabbis and anyone in need. This was documented by Hakam Yosef Sitehon, who was born in Halab in the year 1813, in his book Vayimsa Yosef, and by Hakam Yaakov Dweck, who was born in Halab in 1828, in his book She'erit Yaakov. Hakam Yosef Abadi Shayo, who was born in Halab in 1893, also wrote that the money was used to buy masod for the rabbis and others that needed assistance. He also wrote that between Rosh Chodesh Adar and Purim, 2 rabbis sat in the Knesset every morning to collect money for the half shekel. And in every minyan, the Shamosh would announce, Mahassit HaSheqel, to encourage everyone to give. And if someone didn't give, they sent someone to collect from him. The amount that they gave was half a Mejidi per person. The Mejidi was a Turkish currency that was in use in Halab at that time. All of this was documented in his book on the customs of Aram Soba. Giving half of the currency used in your location was documented as the custom by Rabbi Yehuda Ayash, an 18th century authority from Algeria, in his book Matei Yehuda. However, Rabbi Yosef David, an authority from Salonika in the 17th and 18th centuries, wrote that one should give the value of 9 grams of silver. He wrote this in his book Bet David. Interestingly, Hakam HaSheqel instructed his community in Argentina to give the value of 9 grams of silver. Rabbi Abraham Ades wrote that he heard from Hakam Yitzhak Tawil that in his times, around the 1940s, they did not collect money for the half shekel in Halab, but they did collect money for his father's yeshiva, Degel Torah, in the Knesset on the morning of Purim. So we see that the custom of giving money in memory of the obligatory half shekel was first recorded in the 8th century and was practiced in Halab at least since the 18th century. In Halab, they gave a half of their currency, and the money was used to buy masot for the rabbis and others who needed assistance. Others give the value of 9 grams of silver, which was adopted by Hakam Yitzhak Shahebar when he was the rabbi of Argentina. In later times in Halab, they did not collect money for the half shekel, but they did collect money for the yeshiva on the morning of Purim.